Let's talk about Joker Folie à Deux, which is the sequel to the 2019 Joker film, which is directed by Todd Phillips and written by Phillips and Scott Silver. This one brings Joaquin Phoenix back to play the iconic role of the Joker, or Arthur Fleck as he is known in the film. You also have Lady Gaga joining the ensemble as Lee Quinn, Harley Quinn of course, as you know her from the comics, in a courtroom drama slash musical slash psychological thriller. That's how we'll call this one. But before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 35,000 subscribers is the goal. This is not a review. I'll be talking a little bit about my thoughts on the movie here and there, but it's full of spoilers. I'm just here to talk about the ending, and that's pretty much it. So if you don't want spoilers, check out my video later tonight, which is going to be spoiler free, and come back to our live tonight, which is going to be spoiler full. But let's get into the ending. So pretty much this movie takes place 2 years after the events of 2019's Joker, in which we saw Arthur Fleck kill 5 people, and of course nobody knows he killed his own mother as well. We eventually see that he is now going to be going on trial. Harvey Dent is leading this trial, and he wants to give Arthur the death penalty. His lawyer, Arthur Fleck's lawyer, is arguing, no, you can't do that. This is Arthur Fleck who did not commit this. The Joker persona committed this. Arthur Fleck suffers from a split personality of sorts, and it is the Joker that commits these horrible and heinous acts. So we see all of this go to trial, but we also see Arthur begin a romance with Lee Quinn, who he meets at a music therapy class in Arkham. Now, we eventually see that their whole romance starts to blossom. They even try to escape at a point together, but then are caught, and Arthur is thrown into solitary confinement. Quinn is able to be released because they say they don't want the Joker to be a bad influence on Quinn, who was just there because apparently she had tried to burn down her parents' apartment building. So she leaves, but she tells Arthur, I will make sure to be at the trial every day and I will support you 100%. During the trial, we see that Quinn and the lawyer butt heads because she believes that she's not doing everything she can to get Arthur to be free. So she tries to convince Arthur to fire his lawyer, but Arthur also confronts Quinn because his lawyer had told him that Quinn was lying about all of her situation and her history. She's actually rich, her parents aren't dead as she said, and she pretty much made herself go into the ward, and then she was able to check herself out whenever she wanted to. Quinn then comes clean to Arthur and says, yeah, I did do all of those things. I lied because I wanted you to like me more. I wanted to get to know you more. She's actually a psychiatrist, so her intentions aren't very clear if she's just really interested in studying Arthur or if she really has some fascination with him, but she does say she's just crazy, so who knows? They are crazy in love, right? We eventually see the trial go into a space that I think nobody thought it was going to go into. After this conversation with Quinn, Arthur then fires his lawyer, and then the Joker persona fully comes out and he is just representing himself in court. We see as many witnesses from the first movie come on to give their case against Arthur and everything he's done, but the Joker persona is just trying to make it into a spectacle of sorts as his followers and Quinn cheer on. The whole movie is interlaced with a lot of musical aspects too, which I really did dig, and I wish the movie leaned on a little bit more. But by the end of the trial, Arthur then is able to come back to his senses, and he pretty much says, you know what? No, the Joker persona needs to go. I did all of this. This is my fault. I killed those people. I knew what I was doing. And this could be many reasons why Arthur felt the need to come clean. There is a scene prior to this when the inmates are sort of on Arthur's side in Arkham, and they're like having a hoot. They're throwing like a riot of sorts as the guards come and beat some of them and even kill an inmate that was kind of close to Arthur. And I feel like this maybe made Arthur realize that he's still creating this chaos and he's still hurting people. And I think that was one of the things when he was talking to one of the people that were testifying, which is Gary, his old coworker, started to make Arthur realize that maybe I am just hurting and this is something that needs to stop. So in Arthur's mind, the best way to stop this is for him to just die, and maybe that's why he comes clean to the jury during this. Of course, the jury is then going to find him guilty, and this makes Quinn mad that Arthur abandoned the Joker persona, and some of his followers as well. They all storm out of the courtroom after Arthur just says, I'm just Arthur Fleck, I'm not the Joker. However, not much happens after this because we see as the jury is delivering their final verdict, a bomb goes off in the courtroom. Arthur's able to go into the chaos that is Gotham at this point, as apparently a bomb in a car was the one that was set off that made the courtroom blow up. And we see that Arthur is then taken by two of his followers as they try to get him out of here, and they want to continue and just start more chaos. Of course, Arthur at this point just wants it all to end, and he tries to leave, which he does, and eventually sees Quinn at his old apartment. But is this really Quinn, right? This could all just be in Arthur's head, just as many of the musical aspects in this film were. And she just says that all she really loved was just the Joker. Now that the Joker's gone, she doesn't want to stay with Arthur. And then the police apprehend Arthur, take him back to Arkham, and then the next day he's killed by an inmate that carves a smile into his own face. So this inmate, is this the new Joker? A lot of people were theorizing, is this Heath Ledger? Is this Barry Keoghan's Joker? I don't think so. I think that this is just a play on the many ways we've seen the Joker be interpreted in the last 20 years. But what does it mean when Arthur is gone? Does the Joker continue on, or what is it? So I really like that aspect of the ending. I still think that the ending kind of came into random as well, which could just be Todd Phillips saying that he really is done with the Joker. I know there was a lot of this talk about people wanting more and more and more Joker films, and I think this is just like a big middle finger that Todd Phillips saying, like, that's it. That's all, folks, right? As the Joker says in the film. And I really do think that it's interesting to rewatch the movie, seeing it in these perspectives where the musical aspects of the film are just that. They are just musical aspects in Arthur's fantasy head. And I'm very curious to see what more people think about this. I want to rewatch it again and go forth and really dissect these scenes, because I really love those musical parts of the film. Do I think everything Quinn and Arthur shared here was real? Probably not. There's more here that's probably just a manifestation in Arthur's head, as we saw in the first Joker film with Zazie Beetz's character. And I really do think that final whole thing that happened on the stairs, and Arthur and Quinn were going back and forth about why Quinn left and why she was just obsessed with the Joker, that didn't happen either, because we do get a small little montage of Quinn with a gun to her head right before the bomb goes off. So I think there is a lot here that's interesting. I think a lot works for me. This ending, I know it doesn't work for a lot of people, and people are pissed, and I can kind of see why. But for me, somebody who's always just wanting these filmmakers, these artists, and everybody involved to just take these bold swings and just go and take us somewhere where we don't expect us to go, I do appreciate it in that aspect, but I can definitely see the outrage and all of that. One of the most polarizing films for sure. I didn't expect Phillips to make something more polarizing than 2019, especially with Gaga being added in here, but they've gone ahead and did it, and I'm curious to see how people will react to it. I'm very excited to see also Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix and Gaga move on to other projects from this one. I think that this is going to be an interesting one, and a lot of people are linking it to the musical that is Emilia Perez as well, which I have a whole conversation on musicals this year. I've watched about 5 musicals this year, and I haven't even seen Wicked yet, so very interested in talking more about that. But let me know what you think about the ending of Joker Folie. I really do think it just showcases that the Joker persona will continue on even if Arthur Fleck is out of here. Like, the idea of Arthur Fleck is much bigger as the Joker. A lot of the musical aspects of this are in Arthur's head. Was Quinn even real at all? Yes, I do believe Quinn was real. Do I think that she had a plan or anything like that to ever think Arthur was going to get out? I don't think so. I think she had this sort of way of thinking of things, that she was just very infatuated with the Joker and wanted to study the Joker more and see the Joker. And she was just using Arthur Fleck and his longing for someone to do that. Now, let me know what you think about the movie and its ending, if you hate it, if you love it. Like I said, I'm in the middle with it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think I got to give it another rewatch, especially watching it once, going into it with the context I have now. I don't know. Maybe I'll see it in a different light, but we'll see. Anyways, as always, I'll see all of you next time. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. 35,000 subscribers is the goal. As always, stay safe, stay positive.